The first poem of the Lamentations. Ekhah. How does the city sit alone that was once full of people? How has she become an abandoned widow? She that was once great among the nations and princess among the provinces. How has she become a slave? She wails at night, and her tears stay on her cheeks. Among all those who love her, she has no one to comfort her. All her friends have abandoned her. They are now her enemies. Judah has been exiled under affliction and servitude. She dwells among the nations, and she finds no rest. Her persecutors have all overtaken her in the midst of her anguish. The roads to Zion do mourn, for none travel their ways. All her gates are destroyed. Her priests cry out. Her maidens are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her oppressors are now her rulers. Her enemies prosper, for the Lord has afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children gone into captivity before the enemy, and from the daughter of Zion all her beauty is departed. Her rulers have become like the deer that find no pasture in which to rest, and they have fled without strength before their pursuer. Jerusalem remembers in these days of affliction and miseries all the precious things she had in days of old. When her people fell into the hands of her foes, no one helped her. Her foes looked at her and mocked her in her ruin. Jerusalem has sinned greatly. She was therefore brought down. All those who honored her now despise her, for they have seen her sin uncovered. She cries out in her sadness and turns away. Her dishonor was even in her clothing. She did not think about her future. Her fall, therefore, was extraordinary, and there was no one to comfort her. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy has made himself great. The oppressor has spread out his hand upon every precious thing. For Jerusalem has seen the nations enter into her sanctuary, those whom you commanded not to enter in. All her people cry out. They seek bread. They give up their treasures for food to sustain their souls. See, O Lord, and consider, for I have become despised. Is it nothing to you, all who pass by? Behold and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow, like that which was done against me, which the Lord delivered on the day of his great anger. From above he sent fire into my bones, and it burned. He has spread a net for my feet. He has turned me back. He has made me desolate and weak all the day long. A yoke has been made from my sins by his hands. They were tied together and lifted upon my neck. He has made my strength to fail. The Lord has delivered me into the hands of those against whom I am unable to stand. The Lord has crushed the mighty within me beneath his feet. He has called an assembly against me to shatter my young men. The Lord has stomped upon the maiden daughter of Judah like grapes in a winepress. For these things I weep. Mine eye runs down with tears, because the Comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are destitute, for the enemy has prevailed. Zion spreads forth her hands, and there is no one to comfort her. The Lord has spoken concerning Jacob, that his adversaries should be all around him. Jerusalem is as an unclean woman among them. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear me, please, all you people, and behold my sorrow. My maidens and my young men have gone into captivity. I called to those who loved me, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders, they died in the city, while searching for food to sustain their souls. Behold, O Lord, for I am greatly distressed. My stomach churns. My heart is turned within me, for I have gravely rebelled. In the street, the sword takes children, but in the home, it is death to all. They have heard that I mourn. There is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad at what you have done. Hasten the day that you have proclaimed, that they shall be like unto me. Let their wickedness come before you, and deal with them as you have dealt with me, because of my transgressions. For my cries are many, and my heart is weak.